You know that feeling when you scroll through a sea of wine coolers, see those glossy photos, and think you've found the perfect spot for your collection, only to discover the unit you ordered barely fits in the corner you cleared, or the temperature swings like a roller coaster after you open the door? I've been there, and I've also spent the last few weeks living with the Vushine 24-inch dual-zone wine fridge to see whether it actually lives up to the hype or ends up as another kitchen eyesore. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have is the fear of committing to a pricey appliance that promises precision cooling but ends up being a noisy, energy-guzzling box that forces you to constantly tweak the thermostat. That's why I focused my testing on 3 everyday scenarios: a small home bar that sees a few glasses a night, a budding collector who wants to keep reds and whites at different temperatures, and a family kitchen where space is tight and the fridge needs to sit quietly beside a dishwasher. What I found is that the Vushine manages to hit the sweet spot for the first 2 cases, but it does have a few hidden trade-offs that matter if you're looking for a set-and-forget solution. The dual-zone design is the headline feature, and it actually works the way the spec sheet says. The upper compartment stays steady at around 55 F, perfect for serving reds, while the lower zone holds at 45 F, ideal for whites and sparkling. The zones are controlled independently via a digital touch panel that lights up with a soft blue glow. No cryptic menus, just a simple up/down arrow for each zone. In practice, that means you can slide a bottle of Pinot Noir into the top shelf, pop a chilled Chardonnay into the bottom, and the fridge will keep both at their sweet spots without the temperature of one zone bleeding into the other. I tried swapping a bottle from the top to the bottom and back again over a week, and the temperature change was measured in a fraction of a degree, not the 5-degree swings some cheaper models suffer. Capacity is another real-world factor. The 177 bottle claim sounds impressive until you realize the shelving is fixed in a way that makes tall bottles think Bordeaux or high-ballooned champagne hard to slide in without hitting the top of the door. The shelves are adjustable in height, but only within a limited range, so you have to plan your layout ahead of time. If you already own a mix of standard and oversized bottles, you'll probably need to dedicate a whole row to the taller ones and sacrifice a few spots for the rest. For a casual collector with a dozen or 2 of everyday bottles, that's not an issue. For someone who's building a serious cellar with a lot of large format bottles, you'll end up with a few wasted spaces. Noise is where many wine coolers fall short, especially if you keep the unit in an open concept living area. Vushine advertises a low-noise compressor, and in a quiet apartment the fridge hums at about 38 decibels, roughly the sound of a refrigerator running in the next room. It's audible if you're sitting right next to it, but it doesn't rise to the level of a kitchen blender. I did notice that the compressor kicks on more frequently during the first few days as it learns the ambient temperature, which is normal. After the initial week, the cycle settled down and the hum became barely noticeable. Energy consumption is another practical point. The fridge uses a standard 115-volt plug and draws roughly 150 watts on average. Over a month that translates to about 11 kilowatt-hours, which is modest for a unit of this size. If you're already paying for a larger full-size refrigerator, adding this cooler won't blow your electric bill. The built-in LED lighting is dim but adequate for checking your bottles at night, and it automatically turns off after a few seconds of inactivity, saving a little extra power. Now, who should actually consider buying this Vushine? If you're a home entertainer who wants a dedicated spot for a small to medium collection, especially if you enjoy serving both reds and whites at their optimal temperatures, this fridge delivers exactly what you need. The dual zones mean you no longer have to juggle a single temperature setting and compromise on the taste of your wine. The unit's footprint, 24 inches wide, 70 inches tall, fits neatly under a countertop or in a pantry shelf, so it's a solid choice for apartments, condos, and even a modest suburban kitchen where space is at a premium. On the other hand, if you're a serious collector with a large inventory of diverse bottle shapes, or if you need a cellar that can handle temperature swings of a few degrees for aging purposes, you might be better off looking at a larger, more customizable wine room or a commercial-grade cooler. The limited shelf adjustability and the door swing, it opens outward, which can be awkward in tight corners, are the main reasons to skip this.